What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more fighting. Good news for MMA for the UFC. They're talking about the UFC 205 card. It's been rumored for a while, but it was finalized. Yoel Romero versus Chris Weidman, ex-champion at middleweight, who has a neck injury, or he had a neck injury after his loss to Luke Rockhold. This really been in the UFC. It's been the year of the upsets. You had Holly Holm lose to Miesha Tate in a fight she was pretty much dominating. She lost to her in the final round. Then Miesha Tate loses to Amanda Nunes. You had Michael Bisping beat Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold beat Chris Weidman, and so on and so on. So there's been a lot of upsets in the UFC, like a lot, this particular year. But Luke Rockhold beat Chris Weidman, who was a long-standing champion, and this will be his first fight back. Yoel was suspended. He had like some kind of tested positive, failed a drug test, but then they later reduced his sentence because they said he had some kind of contaminated supplements and it wasn't his fault. So that's a very good fight. The fight is going to take place in New York City, Madison Square Garden, and this is big because MMA was just approved for New York. New York has completely different, not just fighting combat stuff, but the RICO law. They have all types of just laws and different ordinances and shit. Even you see it in boxing, the athletic commission, they're very strict. They like Sergio Martinez versus Miguel Cotto. They didn't want to let him wear a knee brace coming off of a long layoff. You look at Abner Mares in boxing. He couldn't get approved. He couldn't get approved for a fight he had signed on the Thurman Porter undercard because of an eye injury or some kind of eye test that he failed. So it's big that MMA is actually coming to New York and is doing it in a big way. UFC is killing with their matchmaking. They're putting together a lot of good cards. Yoel Romero versus Chris Weidman. I heard this card, they're going to try to put Rashad Evans on it. Another big fight for the card is Frankie Edgar versus Jeremy Stephens. Another good fight for UFC 205. I think even though Frankie Edgar is coming off of a loss, he was doing good. The only person he was losing to at 145 is really Jose Aldo, who, I mean, it's a loss, but there's no shame losing to him because he's a great fighter, you know what I mean? But before that, before the Aldo fight, because he got dominated in the Aldo rematch, and people didn't know how Aldo would look because of the Conor McGregor knockout in 13 seconds, but Aldo looked very sharp in that fight, very focused. He started off a bit slow, but I think that might have been, I guess, ring rust, or, you know, when coming off a knockout, you want to be a little bit cautious. But then he started to open up, and Frankie Edgar was getting like destroyed in there. But other than that, Frankie Edgar before that had like a 5-win streak. He was doing well for himself, and this is good. I don't know. UFC 205. Let me know what you guys think. Chris Weidman, Yoel Romero, winner of that fight will probably be in line for a title shot at middleweight. And Chris Weidman's a good fighter. It's just he got fucked up by Luke Rockhold. So let me know what you guys think. Who wins this particular fight? What do you think of the UFC 205 card? I will give you guys updates. But yeah, UFC's doing their job when it comes to the matchmaking. We need to get boxing on board with this program where we start seeing good competitive matches. And it's good to see that UFC is coming to New York. That's something big. That's a big hurdle. And I seen Chris Weidman. He was there's a new stadium, I guess, or venue that they're building in New York. I seen a picture of him online where he had the hard hat. He was getting a tour of it. So it should be big, and this is a good card to open it up. Let me know what you guys think. UFC 205, Yoel Romero, Chris Weidman at middleweight is the main event. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you like me. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.